Good morning, good evening, everyone. This is Rajat Kohli, partner with Zinnov. We'll talk about sustainability today. Every enterprise CXO is talking about sustainability. It has gone beyond being feel a good peer to becoming an integral part of business digital transformation strategy. Enterprises are setting up aggressive net zero goals and are depending on technology to build a savvy sustainability strategy. We at Zinnov looked at the role of technology in empowering enterprises to be net zero. As part of this session, we will touch upon current sustainability landscape from a CXO lens, opportunity of technology in enabling sustainability, industry benchmarking, key use cases, and future bets in tech-enabled sustainability. Sustainability has been an ongoing process for businesses over a decade now. However, we see it being accelerated at an unprecedented rate in the past 2 years. We justify this acceleration as the sustainability domino effect, triggered by purpose driven consumers where they are willing to adopt a climate conscious lifestyle. This is accompanied by the aggressive government policies set in place. Around 60% countries have policies that help accelerate net zero goals. The US SEC recently mandated all public companies to disclose scope 1, 2, 3 greenhouse gas emissions across their entire value chain. A similar ruling has been mandated in India, where the top 1,000 listed companies are required to report their ESG risk and opportunity, an approach to managing risk along with financial implications. This is coupled with burgeoning investor pressure, where investors are aligning investments with the company's sustainability reporting scores. All these factors combined are pushing enterprises to be more vigilant of their operations and be more committed to their net zero goals. They're following a three-pillared approach here. The environment pillar, which is aims at initiatives that reduces carbon footprint across value chain and building sustainable products. The social pillar aims at well-being and safety of both external and internal stakeholders. Over 60% of enterprises are likely to purchase a product if the brand encourages diversity and inclusivity. Lastly, the economy pillar looks at sustainable growth of businesses. Now, we looked at global enterprises C-suite signals over the years. It is quite fascinating to see that the growth in sustainability mentions has grown twice in the last 2 years. This validates the fact that sustainability is becoming central to business strategy, and enterprise CXOs are continuously identifying new pockets of value creation and looking for ways to transparently engage with internal and external stakeholders. Enterprise CXOs are setting up aggressive net zero goals and prioritizing to inculcate sustainability across business operations, customers, and employees. For instance, MasterCard is incentivizing its employees by linking employee compensation to companies' ESG goals. As corporate sustainability and adherence to ESG norms are emerging as cross disciplinary areas of responsibility of C level executives, we are seeing new breeds of C suites such as chief sustainability officers, chief environment officers, and so on, responsible for driving initiatives, technology empowerment, and change management across business functions. Overall, these initiatives from C level folks will further drive their net zero commitments. The net zero goals. The sustainability C level priorities are resulting into enterprises setting up aggressive sustainability goals to be net zero by 2050. Science based targets are becoming the foundation for business leaders across industries who are pushing for net zero. For instance, as aviation industry gears up for being net zero by 2050, it is committing to meet 40% of total fuel demand by sustainable aviation fuel by 2040. This push is not only from industries but also from nations. The EU has set aggressive policies such as European Green Deal across transport, energy consumption and taxation policies that fit for reducing net greenhouse gas emissions by at least 55% by 2030. The two driving factors for enterprises to be net zero are monetary impact and the stringent government policies. With nations demanding transparency in emissions tracking and reporting, enterprises with opaque emissions reporting are getting on radar of the nations. Last year, The European Commission fined Volkswagen and BMW a total of over $1 billion for colluding to curb the use of emission cleaning technology in diesel cars. Secondly, carbon emissions have direct monetary impact on enterprises' top and bottom lines. Denmark proposed carbon tax of $160 per ton of CO2 equivalent to reduce carbon emissions from heavy industries and energy sector. Another factor that is positively reinforcing them into sticking to their sustainability goals is cost saving. Recently, Unilever realized cost savings of worth $1.5 billion from sustainable sourcing by using spatial analytics to source its raw materials. All these factors coupled is pushing enterprises to uplevel its net zero commitments. Next, we look at the role of technology in sustainability. Technology will play a central role to empower enterprise to record and track their net zero goals. With enterprises going all in on net zero strategies, they're foraging for waste, rapid decarbonization, and looking at ways to optimize and manage energy resources in the most sustainable way. To put forth ESG commitments, enterprises will need technology to standardize capturing and tracking of their sustainability goals. We try to showcase interplay of technologies in getting outputs such as monitoring, reduce and optimize emissions, and report on scope 1, 2, 3 emissions. It starts with collating emissions data across multiple input sources, which is then processed to show a 360-degree unified view of data, which gives an overall carbon footprint of an enterprise. Currently, we are seeing AI being integrated across systems to get actionable data insights in real time, which enables enterprises to assess data and make real time decisions in tracking their sustainability goals across value chain. This interdependency of technologies are empowering enterprises to align their sustainability strategies and track their progress in real time. Now we look at the technology and sustainability market opportunity. The opportunity of technology in enabling sustainability is bound to be at $21 billion by 2025, growing at a CAGR of 18%. Over 50% of the market is captured by software, witnessing a growth of 19% expected in the next 3 years. Over 40% of this market size came from North America, followed by Europe and APAC. Speaking of the industry, energy industry captures the highest share of the market, followed by manufacturing industry. We also looked at from a use case angle. The top 5 use cases capture around 70% of the total global sustainability market. The top 5 use cases capture around 70% of the total global sustainability market. The top ones being energy management, EV software, carbon footprint management, smart waste management, and intelligent packaging. We believe that ESG reporting software tools will be the next fastest growing segment, reaching over $1 billion market in the next 3 years. Henceforth, we'll see investments in these areas witnessing an upward trajectory, and enterprises will prioritize such use cases which have a direct impact on sustainability from their business operations. We at Zinnov created an interesting framework to prioritize the goals that have a direct impact on environment, society, economy from its business operations. Looking at UN, they have defined 17 SDG goals aligned with environment, social, and economy. These UN SDGs act as a blueprint for enterprises to align their net zero goals. We at Zinnov did an interesting exercise to gauge technology adoption across these 17 UN SDGs. On the x-axis, we have global enterprises SDG focus based on CXO sentiments, their net zero goals, capability building around sustainability, partnerships, initiatives in sustainability domain aligned to a given SDG. On the y-axis, we looked at the technology adoption maturity for a given SDG. This was measured on the basis of maturity of technology-enabled use cases aligned with an SDG. Based on our analysis, enterprises are prioritizing those SDGs where the impact of their operations on environment has been direct. Hence, we see SDGs such as climate action, affordable and clean energy, and so on, being on the radar of enterprises and witnessing highest technology adoption. For instance, CNS wholesale grocers partner with TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, and Google Cloud to leverage AI to unify data across traffic and identify optimal distribution routes, thus reducing the food wastage and achieving greater fuel efficiency, while addressing SDGs such as climate action and responsible consumption and production. To address the prioritized SDG goals, enterprises are foraging for ways to rapidly decarbonize across their value chain. Based on the major sources of carbon emissions, we mapped out three key themes: carbon negative, zero waste, and water neutral. Carbon negative account for all the activities responsible for direct and indirect GHG emissions from upstream and downstream activities across the value chain. Zero waste focuses on optimizing waste production, eliminating use of single-use plastic by incentivizing both partners and customers. And lastly, water neutral aims at optimizing water utilization, monitoring water quality, and reducing the use of energy-intensive water resources. Based on key themes, the three key themes that we identified, we looked at technology adoption, maturity of these industries across major themes based on adoption stage of technology enabled sustainability use cases. Gauging the digital maturity of use cases implemented across industries, we believe that CG, consumer goods, and energy are the top contenders in driving technology maturity across sustainability use cases, followed by manufacturing sector. These industries are leveraging technology to prioritize energy optimization, supply chain sustainability, ESG reporting, and carbon footprint tracking. Technology empowers them with a unified emissions data profile across its value chain and assisting them with actionable plan to optimize and reduce their carbon footprint. We looked at one of the industries, the consumer goods industry, which is one of the front runners in sustainability. To understand how technology empowers sustainability, we tracked down more than 30 plus use cases that global consumer goods enterprises are chasing that are based on the level of adoption and business sustainability impact. This impact is measured in terms of how many SDGs are being addressed by a use case, capacity to reduce emissions, impact on resource utilization, customer experience and enhancement, process efficiency, and so on. We have also mapped these use cases across the key themes as well as the interplay of technologies being adopted to enable a use case. At an overall level, we see that technologies such as cloud computing, AI, is playing a huge role in enabling sustainability use cases. If you look at the high sustainability impact area, use cases that are currently witnessing high adoption came out to be energy optimization, smart packaging, and tracking of direct carbon emissions. AI is being leveraged in smart grids, where machine learning gauges demand and reroutes energy across workloads in real time. Similarly, smart packaging uses technologies such as RFID, AI, cloud computing to gauge the quality, temperature, humidity of contents in packaging, and providing real time updates to the end user. The next set of use cases, which are bound to mature in the next 2 years, came out to be ESG reporting tools, water quality assessment, and supplier sustainability monitoring. Real time data sharing will be imperative to transparently report ESG scores for an enterprise. Enterprises are going for cloud based dashboards to assess quality of water in real time and AI to get real time alerts on altered quality, leakage, and energy consumed by water pumps. Similarly, geospatial analytics assist enterprises to source their raw materials in a sustainable way. The very new ones, which presently have low adoption but will gain huge traction in the future, are going to be Scope 3 emissions tracking, the indirect carbon emissions tracking across the value chain. This is especially true when different nations are coming up with the jurisdictions that mandates public enterprises to disclose their both direct as well as indirect carbon emissions across the upstream and downstream activities. The next very interesting use case is carbon emissions recycling, where the direct emissions are recycled and being used in other processes. For example, enterprises such as Unilever and Danone are working with Lanza Tech that uses cloud and AI-based bioinformatics to convert carbon emissions into one of the main ingredients used in Unilever's laundry detergent and Danone's sustainable PET bottles. With rise of virtual commerce in metaverse and enterprises monetizing On NFTs, brands are coming under pressure to make these NFTs more sustainable, such as using less energy intensive platform such as Ethereum based sustainable platform Polygon to mint NFT. All in all, we see technology playing a very huge role in empowering enterprises to be net zero and grow businesses more sustainably. Interesting thing, the future bets of sustainability. We at Zinnov believe that these are the six areas where technology will play a tremendous role in transforming the sustainability landscape. We will see a lot of sustainability solutions getting verticalized, where enterprises will prefer industry specific solutions. This is especially true in areas where enterprises are coming together to standardize emissions data reporting and target areas with high carbon footprint with a tech focused lens. For instance, Catena X Automotive Network is a scalable, secure, and interoperable data ecosystem where automotive manufacturers and suppliers, dealer associations, equipment vendors, and recycling firms can share emissions data without compromising on the sovereignty to enable effective carbon footprint management and empower circular economy. Transparent recording and reporting of sustainable business data are key to achieving ESG metrics and climate goals. However, enterprises across different industries cannot achieve these outcomes in isolation. Hence, data sharing and collaboration platforms such as carbon data networks will enable sharing of emissions and other sustainability data with suppliers and industry partners. For instance, Partnership for Carbon Transparency, PACT, is a cross industry consortium that helps industries tackle with Scope 3 emissions data tracking challenge. PACT created the Pathfinder Network, which is an open, decentralized network infrastructure allowing different technology solutions to connect and support peer to peer data sharing across value chains and industry. Electric vehicles, a very interesting topic, will play a huge role in attaining sustainability despite the rising battery costs. We believe we believe that the government will play a very important role in accelerating this trend. Recently, in India, the Delhi government announced to set up 18,000 EV charging stations by 2024. A couple of weeks back, it is also announced that it will launch a training program for EV mechanics. This all points to the growing support for having a sustainable transport system. Technology solutions aimed at carbon capture, utilization, and storage will gain significant traction in the future as enterprises will invest in solutions that aims to capture carbon emission at source across their value chain. As these enterprises harvest for high quality carbon credits, enterprises will look out for low cost solutions to carbon capture such as AI-based carbon sequestration. And lastly, technology itself is double-edged sword, where technology itself is playing its role in enabling sustainability, computing, and energy-intensive technologies such as AI, blockchain, metaverse need to be more sustainable. Hence, we will see solutions such as compressed AI algorithm, industrial IoT, sustainable blockchain platforms, programming languages requiring less compute energy. Green data centers will gain a lot of traction. By this, I end up my presentation. Thank you so much for joining this session. In case you have any questions or any suggestions, feel free to put up your queries in the chat box. Thank you.